So before I show y'all this preview of my interview, shout out to Level Up Podcast, Jeezy Cash and my nigga AD, man. That shit was dope. We gotta do it again, right? But I got a message. If you still live in complicated areas, the urban community, and you have an African-American son, nephew, grandson, uncle, whatever. More importantly, an African-American man that you love. Give them this message. I like to call it me against the world, or pain. True story. So you got a man, right? He was walking in his neighborhood, walking across the street, got hit by a car. As he hit by the car, he's laying there for probably 30 minutes while numerous amount of people then walk past him. But finally somebody stopped. And this person stopped, she got out, she checked him, made sure he was alright, but he wasn't alright. He was actually, fucked up. So as she helping him and calling the police, now a lot of other people starting to come over there because they noticing, I guess after an hour or so, man got hit. He just laying there. The lady that called the ambulance, while everybody crowding around and they got their phones out and recording them, and the lady that actually called the ambulance was running this man's pockets because the man was knocked unconscious. She was running his pockets, basically robbing him. So he got hit, he laying unconscious, and while he's unconscious, he getting robbed by a lady that actually did help him in a way of calling an ambulance. All right, let's keep it going. Ambulance picks him up, take him to the hospital. As he in the hospital, the police comes in there, and they want to know everything that happened, how it happened, when it happened. But in the midst of that happening, as the ambulance stops, the police stops, they takes out they bring him out, pull him out the stretcher before he even get to make it in the hospital. The police officers trying to get him to give them his name so they can check his criminal history to make sure he don't have any warrants. So I want to start you from the beginning. Man walked outside, hit by a car. Lady, after 30 minutes of people walking past him, lady finally called the ambulance, but the lady that called the ambulance was running his pockets because he's knocked unconscious. So she pretty much robbed him for everything he had in his pocket while he stretched out in the middle of the street. Once he got into the ambulance, they drove him to the hospital. When the ambulance got to the hospital, the police was there to get questions, but they really was there just to check and see if this man had warrants. So the man hit by a car, he broken all up, knocked all out, probably a little bit conscious now of whatever the paramedics did to him while he was in the ambulance. I want y'all to follow me with this. I want y'all to follow me. As he's walking, so as he's he trying to get his shit back together, he hurt, fucked up, just got hit. He didn't even get no medical attention yet. The police they pulled up like they was really trying to make sure he was okay, but they really just wanted to check and see if he had any warrants. Their main concern was if he had warrants, not to hurry up and get him in the hospital before he died, because he just got hit by a fucking truck and he was laying there for 2-3 hours before anybody even got a chance to help him, right? All right, now he's in a hospital for but around this time, I'm gonna just say he's in a hospital, probably going on 2 weeks, because he got hit real bad, like he got hit by a truck, right? Big ass truck. The doctor, they took his contacts to see anybody who who love you, who care, and So of course he gave him his mother number, just the people he loved, people in his family. He just gave him all the numbers, just going on 2 weeks. But the first number he gave him was his girlfriend number, because as a man, you always want to like most African American men so scarred, like we cherish the girlfriend thing, like we cherish that shit. 2 weeks going by, not one visit, not the girlfriend, not the mother. I don't know if he had kids, but no visits, nobody was there. So he was in here for 2 weeks after getting hit by a truck, getting robbed while he was knocked unconscious from getting hit by a truck. On his way to the ambulance, the police followed him to act like they're concerned about his well-being when they really wanted to make sure he didn't have any warrants. Didn't give a fuck he was knocked unconscious. They actually stopped the stretcher from going to the hospital until he was finished, trying to figure out if this man had warrants or not, as he knocked unconscious by being hit by a fucking truck and landing in the middle of the street for almost, I'm gonna just say 2 hours. Let's keep going. After all of this, as a man, we human. So he in a state of depression. He got hit. He went through all that he went through. He still don't know that he got robbed by the bitch that actually called the ambulance for him. All this is happening within 1 day, within these 2 weeks. As this, he never really was conscious enough to see the doctor that was working on him throughout his 2 weeks. He just know that every day he was feeling better and better and better and better. Right? So he gets conscious. He asked the doctor, did you contact any of my family? Matter of fact, my girlfriend. I'm sure they concerned and worried. And the doctor let him know, like, yeah, we contacted everybody. We told everybody what was going on. So he asked, did anybody come see me, or did anybody call here? And the doctor didn't really want to just like be harsh with him, but she really had no other choice, because the family and friends wasn't really making it no better. So she just had to let him know, like, nobody have came to see you. Nobody basically, they really didn't give a fuck. So as a normal human being, and this man was a very, 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 very loving man, cared about the people that he loved, he in a state of depression. Like, I'm in here, they don't even know if he's gonna make it or not. Probably really don't even care. One of them probably got life insurance on him, probably hoping that the man die or whatever, or some shit like that. But they don't know that he's getting like the best care from this one particular nurse. But he have not met this nurse yet. The one that's nursing him back to being like one of the strongest men that you can possibly ever be. So he haven't met this nurse yet. He always like pretty much like he was unconscious throughout the whole, because he got hit by a fucking truck. Let's keep going. So police comes in again. The only visits he been getting was visits from police officers. African-American man from urban community, age mid-20s, 30, late 30s possibility, within one of those ages. So the police comes again, and they just pretty much trying to figure out like warrants, or what happened, or like why did you get hit, or like how do somebody know why they got hit. They trying to figure out any kind of way to just make this man's life harder. Mind you, he got hit, knocked unconscious by a fucking truck. The lady that helped him and called the ambulance for him robbed him while he was unconscious. He still don't know that happened yet. For all for everything he got. She left his phone though. He got no visits from his family members. On his way to the hospital, they stopped the ambulance, stopped the stretcher, pulled him out the stretcher to get his information, to make sure he didn't have no warrants. Fuck his health. Fuck that he got hit by a truck. They don't care about none of that. This is an African-American man. He ain't got no visits. Nobody gives a fuck about him. Let's keep the story rolling. So these police officers came back. They still want to check background. So the man did have a criminal history. Of course, they always try to get some type of. Every African-American man they gotta have some kind of criminal history. They don't care if it's a loitering ticket. So the police came there and they rechecked again because they just was so sure that this man gotta have something that we can handcuff him to the bed. So long story short, as they still badgering him about warrants that had nothing to do with him getting hit by a fucking truck, they handcuffed him to the bed to make sure he don't go nowhere because they said they felt like he was just suspicious. Like, this guy is suspicious, so let's handcuff him so he don't try to get away. After going through all that he went through, right? So all that over with, they realized, this guy, he's a regular innocent man, African-American male, no warrants, no none of that. Just a man that's beat the fuck up from getting hit by a truck, on a regular day. Another week go by, and he just pretty much not even concerned about even calling nobody. He's really not even concerned about his health because he's in a state of deep depression. Like his whole day was wasted. It's going on a month, but there's this special person that nursed him back together. He had a lot of broken bones. I think it was his leg, it was his arm. So finally the day come where he meet the nurse, most beautiful woman he ever seen in his life. She finally comes in when he woke, because he's conscious now. He actually can walk with a cane now. The lady said about 2-3 months he'd be walking as long as he do everything that she telling him to do. So they finally meet this lady, the nurse that nursed him back together. So he just asking her everything. Like, he just like, baby, just break it down to me. What's going on? Like, he wanted to know, like, what happened? Why it happened? Why have I had no visits? Why have y'all contact anybody in my family? My girlfriend probably looking for me. The nurse explained to him everything that he needed to know. I've contacted your girlfriend, your mother, your every family member that you care about. They know that you're here. Why haven't they been here to visit you? I have no idea. That hurt. He started crying. Because at the end of the day, a man is a man, but it's like it comes to a point where, goddamn, how much do? Sometimes we will ask, how much do God want us to take? So when you're going through a lot, it's because you're going somewhere. But you gotta be very, 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 very strong and very patient, and to understand that when you're going through something, it's because you're going somewhere. Let me keep the story rolling. So him and the lady, he just gained a relationship with her. That's possibly feel like that's the only person that really cares about him. She nursed him back to health, and she's been the only nurse that was doing everything that needed to be done so he can get back to his normal self. And she was the one who contacted all of his peoples. And she set up a lawyer for him because the police officers came in there and was harassing him before he even got off the stretcher in the hospital. Boom. So she set that up for him. He ain't even asked her to do it. She set that up for him because she said she seen that something just wasn't right. A man get hit, broken bones, knocked unconscious, and these people trying to figure out if he got some type of warrant or whatever. So he going through everything that he went through, hit by a truck. The lady, he was laying in the street for 2 hours before anybody even cared to help him. The lady that stopped to help him really just stopped to help him just to rob him, even though she called the ambulance and she's the reason that he's in the hospital. She cleaned him out, robbed him. On his way to the hospital, the police officer stopped him and was trying to get his information so they can make sure he don't have no warrant while he was knocked unconscious from a truck. This is what the African-American man go through, right? So as time go by, the nurse ended up, like I said, just probably one of the most beautiful women he ever seen in his life. But in the beginning, he was so concerned about his girlfriend, trying to figure out, like, I know that she's looking for me. I know that she's probably worried. Nobody was worried. Girlfriend, the family, nobody gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard for him to let that soak in. But as time was going by, and the nurse that nursed him back together physically was nursing him back together mentally. He had a lawsuit. The lawsuit went through. This lawsuit was for $50 million, but it haven't got cleared yet. But one of his main witnesses was this nurse that was there to witness when he took off the ambulance in the stretcher. The police followed them just to ask him for his name so they can get warrants why he bashed up and crashed up and broken. So the nurse was his number one witness. The best thing about this nurse, she was a Puerto Rican Dominican woman. So she wasn't like no African American. So her word really meant something, especially when it comes to a African American man having to prove his innocence and things like that. All right, so y'all know how lawsuits take long. Lawsuits take long. Still, he heard from no family, no none of that. All right, so the day come, he finally got himself together. He finally got his full strength back. He actually got the nurse number, and they actually went out on a date. Somehow, some way, this shit, it panned out this way. She took him out on a date. It was a friendly date just to build him back up, because she understood that everybody that he wanted her to call was people that he really, really loved. And she knew what he was going through mentally and physically. So her just being the queen that she is, she took him out on a dinner date, cash on her. This is when he found out that, he'd been robbed too, because he wanted to pay for the dinner that him and the girl him and the nurse, they went out. He wanted to pay for it. He had a nice job, and he had enough money to pay for a dinner. But when he went through his pockets, he realized his money was gone. So now he found that he got hit by a car and robbed by the person that called the ambulance for him, right? This is how this shit work. Long story short,
Slick energy, first R&B and rap collab mixtape. Let's go. My forecast never change. Every day it rain. I pray to God, like, please don't let me go insane. There's sunny out, but in my eye.